Well, at most tracks, we now have an illegal car, but the best news is that we were able to save this car with a $23 ESC, and really you could use any radio and receiver that you have. I've got the proof and the evidence that all this works now, and let's talk about the goods and the bads of all this. So I'm Chad. This is the Dorky and 40 RC channel, and let's talk about the Losi Nascar today. Now, you know, we've talked a lot about this car recently here on the channel, and I'm trying to give everybody as much feedback as possible. If you have not seen my trials and tribulations with the car, watch this video here. Probably the most important one. It'll show you the differences between two cars, one brand new out of the box, one that I played around with a little bit. Everybody thinks that, like, you know, the problem is in like the binding and the steering and this and that, maybe even the servo and all that stuff. And I was kind of convinced that that's where the issue was too. And then I got the second car, and I noticed when I got the second car, the radio that I got with the second car came trimmed all the way to the right. And I turned the car on, and the wheels were still pointed to the left. And so I would mess around with a little bit, try to cheat it, try to do that. And then I would, you know, mess with the servo horn and the servo saver, probably like you guys had, to try to find some kind of like happy medium. And I never found that happy medium. It just wasn't there. I think as this big last second batch of cars came out and more people actually started to get them, that's when I really saw the acceleration on my videos of people asking for help, emails to me personally, my email below in the description if you have any questions about your car, and just the overall discomfort of like people that they have with the car, that it wasn't working the way that they wanted it to work. Like, it just won't steer and drive properly like a car that they were used to. And I know some people are just so on this, like, your car is, you just suck and whatever. Well, I just won my sportsman truck class for the third week in a row and took TQ. It's the one that takes all kinds of work and superior driving. You blow out one corner and you're going to lose. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm thinking about this for the future, and I think eventually as the ESCs die and as people leave the hobby, which, you know, I get a lot of, well, that's growing the hobby. We've got one new racer that I've looked at on Live RC between two tracks that are local to me. Everybody else has a remote and receiver and can afford the $23 to change the ESC. Now, your track and everything might be different. In fact, some tracks are allowing you to put the Hobbywing 1060 as a replacement in here because they have the foresight to see that these things are bad and people want to use their own remote. This box stock thing has gone crazy. I see new rules up today about this and that and everything else. Pretty soon, the tech lines for these things are going to have to be like a mile long, just because of enforcing this box stock type of thing when everybody's trying to get faster, but really a lot of us just want a better car so we can drive it better and get faster. So here's the proof that none of this matters. So last night, even with my ESC, everything else the same, I had the most fun with my car that I've had since I got it. I still was not the fastest, but I was almost the most consistent. I took the shields off my bearings, all that kind of stuff. Still wasn't the fastest. None of that kind of stuff has made a difference, but that's not the fight that I'm trying to fight and the hill that I'm trying to die on. The hill I'm trying to die on is that the Hobbywing is $23 and the replacement ESC from Horizon is $33. And people online complain about it all the time, and some people think they got it figured out. Some cars just work better than others. This fixed everything. Let's watch some video here. You know, previously before this, like, I was never able to run consistent laps like this. I was able to run consistent lines. I was able to actually get in some massive wrecks, and guess what? The servo all came back to center every time. I didn't have to worry about anything else. So there's our left, there's our right. Everything's beautiful. We've got way better, more finer control. So don't give up on this car yet. I don't want people to like sell their cars and everything else. You know, I want people to enjoy this and just kind of hold on for the next couple months until the dust settles and the racetracks figure out that they're not really getting more people coming in because of this. And the older people that for some reason that own 20 cars and have been racing for 30 years are out there running these cars with people that are supposed to be brand new, and they're worried about forcing a brand new person to spend a little bit more of extra money on the hobby to have a better race experience. I mean, the data and all of their stuff, their opinions don't add up. I'm trying to provide everybody with a solution because this car is amazing, but it has problems. But it doesn't break. The cost of ownership of this car is literally nothing. The wrecks and everything else that we get into are any other car, TT02, a pan car, anything would be toast. You'd be in this thing for hundreds of dollars. Let's just go to the video and you can just see what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. After one of the messiest parade laps ever, I pulled back. I am in the blue Kyle Busch car, so coming in front of you right now. Now, I think the first like 15, 20 laps is kind of like the grip and the traction compound was changing on the tires. Some tires had it, some didn't. The car had a little bit of push on it. Maybe it's because I was running a little bit of thicker fluid up front in the shocks, just kind of playing with stuff. Definitely want to thank Shannon for allowing me to run my car, even though it was illegal. I pulled it and did not run the main. I wasn't running for points. They're just letting me run the car for you guys and test. You know, some of the people understand what I'm trying to do for the hobby. Some people don't. But, you know, you can just kind of see, you're going to see, you know, a lot of bad racing. Oh, boom, big hit right there. You know, like, and these cars just take the abuse. None of them break. Again, the cost of ownership is nothing of these cars. So that's another vote in my case, I believe, to make an adjustment to make the cars all drive better. So we're coming around and, you know, I let the faster car go in front of me. So again, his battery or his motor or whatever is obviously better than mine. The ESC has no problem at all. It's not making me faster. The only thing that is keeping me slow is my driving. But if you've seen any of my videos, I was never able to drive this car this consistent. When I would take a hit or something else, the steering would get all whack. Everything would be crazy. I would have to try to like recenter it and retrim it and everything while I was trying to race. And then you would think that it was okay and you would throw it down on the track and it still would not be. Every hit and every wreck that I got into, and you'll see me flipping and rolling and everything was good. So to me, this is all a win-win. And if you have a track that allows you to do this, I highly suggest that you do this for sure to your car. It will get you into the hobby. Boom, look at my car just getting smacked, and I'm able to pull right out, not have any hit it again, marshal through the car right down in front of me. So I'm able to go and just keep racing. You know, I ended up with 52 laps in this, and I think the TQ had 54. So there was a lot of stuff going on out here. And I think coming up here in a second, I'm actually going to get like flipped and rolled. They're going to see cars shooting across the track, all kinds of crazy stuff. So I don't really know, you know, there's a big wreck. That was my fault. I ran into him. I mean, it's a hill that I'm willing to die on just because I am such a firm believer in this platform. And, you know, as long as I'm allowed to just kind of do what I did last night, which is just kind of like test things and not running the main. And really, there's not anything else that I want to change or test. I would like to maybe prove some skeptics wrong and use a cheaper remote. I mean, I'm using a Sanwa M17, but this will work with any other remote because the problem is in the ESC receiver and the protocol. So anytime you can up your game with that, I think things are going to be a little bit better. So now you can see the car is really coming in with the grip and the traction. So the compound on the tires, you know, we're getting some buildup on it, so they're not being as crazy. I'm able to hold my line a lot tighter on the inside. The car isn't pushing as much. And, you know, we're just going to race it out and just keep having fun. And that's really just what it is all about. Race is over. Thank goodness I hit reverse there or I would have got killed. Yeah, I did forget to disable reverse in the ESC or the remote. My bad. But anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this. I know there's going to be a portion of you that are like, box stock for life, man, blah, blah, blah. And you probably won't be racing this car in another couple months. So really what you say doesn't matter. Some of you are going to hang on for a while and then you're going to get bored with it as well. But for me, I am going to do what I do, test things out, have a little bit of fun with it, keep it here on the shelf, and wait for things and the dust to settle and things to just kind of relax and for things to evolve. We are trying to get people involved in the RC hobby. So people were willing to shell out $55, $60 Spectrum chargers. I don't know why they wouldn't be willing to shell out more money for one of these upgrades to make the car better. So let me know what you guys think. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.